All smiles, champions. Welcome to Mind, Elevation, Health, and Wealth. My name is Shyra DeJuan. I'm an emotional healer, educator, and entrepreneur. Each week, we will dig deep into emotionally healing all aspects of your life to increase your ability to create prosperity. Mind, Elevation, Health, and Wealth allows you to elevate and shift into a growth mindset. Share each moment with me. I'm giving you permission to fulfill all of the unique desires of your heart, judgment-free, shame-free, guilt-free elements to heal your mind and body. As you listen and consume the words of the session with no fear of loss, champions, if we heal together, we'll be real together. Embrace unconditional love and keep listening. Healing is health. Health is wealth. You are here on purpose. Session 7. Reshape your consumption, uplift your life. Listen and listen well, champions. Whether you have faith in God, faith in the universe, or faith in self, take control of what you consume and stimulate growth. You are what you consume. The news station you watch, the music you listen to, the reality TV you watch, who you follow on social media, the food you eat, and the company that you keep. In my younger years, I didn't have the mental capacity to analyze how my emotions were affected by what I listened to or what I watched on television. It wasn't until August of 2005 that I realized how watching the news completely changed my mood and emotions for the entire day. August 2005 was the year Hurricane Katrina hit New Orleans. I lived in Indiana at the time, and each morning I turned on the news and with tears in my eyes, compassion in my heart, like many others, I watched with devastation and heartache. This feeling of helplessness because there wasn't much I could do. I also felt anger as I watched how the media portrayed survivors as looters and as helicopters were recording safely in the sky while people down below were on bridges flagging them for help. It was in these moments that I was angry at the media, but I kept watching day after day. Even though I hadn't experienced the trauma the survivors in New Orleans were experiencing, I still fell deep into depression. This was at a time I hadn't been healed from my struggle with depression, so it was easy for anything to be a trigger. But day after day, I kept watching. I kept feeling helpless, hopeless, and angry. I would constantly talk about it and discuss the scenes on the news. I would discuss with coworkers, family, and friends. The world was consumed with it. But somehow I felt so personally involved with it. It consumed my thoughts, my conversations, my prayers. The most detrimental aspect to my health was that the news coverage consumed my emotions. I chose this example as my real life experience because it was the first time I was actually able to reflect on my own about what was causing my depression. One day, I turned on the news and my mind was actually anticipating the stress and anxiety. Sure enough, the news camera flashed on a scene and I instantly welled up with tears. I couldn't even muster up the energy to go to work that day. After I called in sick, I turned off the television and prayed. It was after my prayer that I realized I can't watch this anymore. I realized the media and news coverage had temporarily taken over my life. I also realized that I could not control the tragedy that had taken place in New Orleans. I could not physically, emotionally, or monetarily help the survivors of Hurricane Katrina. I was defeated. I couldn't keep watching. It was in 2005 that I decided I would limit my consumption of news media. Eventually, I just stopped watching the news. It took me a couple months to fully recover from my depressive state because everyone was still talking about it. So I was I also had to limit my conversations about it. Later, I learned even more about how the news media shapes our thoughts. When local news constantly covers crime, it causes people to live in fear of being in a mass shooting, being robbed, shot, kidnapped, or eaten by animals. Years ago, I watched a documentary about Canadians don't live in as much fear simply because Canadian news doesn't cover crime. They also don't have the severity of copycat crimes. I don't know if this still holds true or not, but it makes sense. Which brings me to the reason I cringe when I saw the series about Jeffrey Dahmer on Netflix. I immediately thought, oh no, someone that has a mental capacity to be a serial killer is going to watch this series in admiration and have the courage to do a copycat crime. Sure enough, it happened. In fact, the United States military uses violent video games to train and prepare U.S. soldiers to kill. Understanding that if soldiers are constantly consuming and acting the act of killing, it will desensitize them so that they'll be able to kill on the battlefield. Music. We love music. Many of us enjoy feel-good music, inspiring music, uplifting music. We shall overcome music. On the plantation, slaves would sing songs of freedom with hopes to soon become free. Songs and music inspired hope and comfort to the enslaved people. We love Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell, Stevie Wonder, James Brown, Minnie Riperton. Music consumption from up until the late 80s, music was about empowerment, peace, unity, love, and love making. Male singers would profess their love and profess their heart to women. Women were respected in music, and love was something to be adored in music. Even in the early 80s, LL Cool J was still needing love. He wrote a rap about it. I need love. Ding, ding, ding. Ding, ding, ding. Ding, ding, ding. You remember it? I remember men were still singing serenades at talent shows. Women were being respected, loved, and adored in songs. Music was inspiring. Groups of people were being empowered to spread peace and love in their communities. Bob Marley united rival political parties in Jamaica on stage at his One Love Peace concert in 1978. Music is powerful. Hip-hop lyricists were forces of consciousness and knowledge in the 80s. Queen Latifah, UNITY, UNITY as in unity. So many others. But then, gangsta rap hit the scene. And there are also many of us that enjoy music that promotes violence and hate and depression. Consumption of gangsta rap had the opposite effect. In fact, there has never been a ban on gangsta rap because it encourages killing and destroying black communities. Well, wait. NWA, there was a ban on F the police. Yeah, they banned that because they don't want that, right? Gangsta rap is about promoting money and riches over women. Gangsta rap suggests that women can't be trusted and are unlovable humans. It promoted materialism, consumerism, and self-hate. Gangsta rappers were and are hurt humans using the creativity of music to cope from their pain and sharing stories of their traumatic life in the streets, which also unconsciously hurts others in their communities. The music industry has made billions from the struggles of young men and women in the gangster rap industry. A selected few of the gangster rappers are still alive today. And if they are successful now, they have shifted into a lifestyle of the rich and famous. No longer struggling on the streets, but that doesn't change the impact their music had when it was being consumed in their neighborhoods. They still may be mistreating women though. But the point is, the music we listen to and consume has had the ability to shape whole communities. Music is so powerful. It also has the ability to cause riots. I remember in college at a house party and the song Tear the Club Up started playing, and in a drunken rage, we all actually tore up that person's whole house. We tore the whole house up. The power of what we were consuming in music. Reality television. Reality, but not reality, but taken as reality and shaping our behavior. I started watching reality TV with The Real World on MTV, but stopped watching it when The Real Housewives came on. I could not consume the fights, the mess, the drama, the backstabbing, the fake friends, the fake everything, the realest, fakest thing you could ever watch on television. Once again, promoting negative, toxic relationships as reality, the industry makes billions while our consumption promotes materialism, consumerism, and self-hate. Plastic surgeon salary increased due to the promotion of body shaming. Women were hating each other as if it was the best thing to do. How will our young ladies learn the power of true friendship? I'm so thankful that we didn't consume this type of reality television when I was in school. I would not know how to be a real friend. Good thing I learned about genuine friendship from watching Sesame Street. Which then brings us to what we consume on our social media pages. Facebook used to be only our friends and family or classmates, because I think it originally started on a college campus. We may have saw some sad posts occasionally, but we were still in a state of mind where we would call and check on someone if they posted something a little upsetting. We were still being personable back in the early stages of social media. But then there was a shift. There was a political shift when politicians realized they can manipulate votes by social media consumption. Then, of course, there is the advertising and marketing promoting more materialism and more consumerism. So now, tech companies have realized the benefits of algorithms. We unknowingly become slaves to our social media pages. We have allowed robots to control what we consume, control our political views, control the products we use, control the way we look with filters, control what we see and who we can follow or unfollow. TikTok completely changed the game. We are so consumed with the algorithm of TikTok that we may spend hours engaged with scrolling and consuming. We are procrastinating with our own goals. We get satisfaction by watching an influencer show their daily routine, so much so our daily routine becomes just watching them organize their whole living space, and our living space is disorganized and in shambles. It's time for change and growth. I'm never one to judge and tell you to stop doing this and stop doing that. I only suggest that you limit and reshape your behavior for positive change and growth. There has to be some sort of resilience in your growth mindset. Now that we know how the news station you watch, the music you listen to, the reality TV you watch, who or what you follow on social media has a direct impact on the type of life you live. We can now understand the importance of how to reshape your consumption for positive change. As promised, we are going to start the practice of reshaping your consumption to uplift your life. Let's reshape. First, the news. Some of us wake up and watch the news. I suggest that you set your news station to the Weather Channel. If you absolutely have to know what's going on in the world, download a news app on your phone and set specific alerts. Try to avoid crime or world tragedy alerts. Let your friends update you on those things, but don't let it start your morning. It's detrimental to your mental health. The music. Some of us have been listening to the same music for decades. If the music you listen to is usually about someone else's struggles, pain, drama, or their gangsta, that music is cool to listen to when you're hanging out at a kickback. However, it's not the best music to listen to when you're starting your day. Not good to listen to if you're depressed, stressed, or having a bad day. It appears to be comforting because it's your favorite artist, but you're actually hurting, not helping, by consuming it during trying times. Think of it as like a music trauma bond. Okay? Yes, you can relate to their struggle, but you don't have to keep reliving it. Be open to expand your listening experience to something smooth. Explore smooth jazz in the morning. If you like to get hyped, play your favorite dance, twerk, or positive hype music in the morning. If you've had a bad day at work, play something that lifts your spirits. We are in the world of music streaming. It's not like years ago when we could only listen to the radio or the CDs that we have. We can download, stream, and play any type of music at any time from any era. I suggest the 70s. Great music was made in the 70s. Challenge yourself to compare the shift and changes from music eras. Also, try not to listen to music from artists that manifest their own death or someone else's death. I don't even have to explain why that shifts your energy to a negative state. Allow your music selections to uplift your emotions and your energy. The television. If you find yourself constantly watching drama-filled television shows, and then you notice you also have drama in your life between your friends and drama at work, you might be a victim of negative television consumption. You have identified yourself with one of your favorite characters, and you have accidentally become them. We are human. It is natural for us to connect with a character that we admire or feel similar to. Strangely, we can also connect with a character that we don't like. So we may meet someone in real life that reminds us of that character, and unconsciously we project our dislike to that person. Yes, this is a real thing. No, it isn't healthy or fair. Be open to choose a show like Run's House instead of The Real Housewives. Is Rev Run still on the air? What are Diggy, Russie, Angela, and Vanessa doing now? I don't know. You get my point. If you like documentaries, watch the health and wellness documentaries and not so much of the murder, crime, and scandal documentaries. Be open to reshape what you consume and stream on television. Reshape your television shows to watch shows that teach you something or inspire a more peaceful, healthy lifestyle. The social media. I deactivated my Facebook 4 years ago. It was such a beautiful mental and emotional freedom. It's so hard to explain, but it is so worth it. Facebook app makes you keep the Messenger app. So I actually have a family group chat and a couple friend group chats on Messenger. That helps me keep in touch with friends and family. Now, I know someone is thinking, oh, hell no, I'm not deactivating my Facebook. I suggest you take breaks from it from time to time if you can't completely give it up. Instagram. If you have a fear of giving up Instagram, then just shift your Instagram. Shift it to change your algorithm. I challenge you to create a new Instagram page and only follow your positive interest or follow pages relating to your life goals or hobbies, whatever it is that you've been wanting to learn. For example, I still have my original Instagram page, but I don't use it. I created a new Instagram page and only added my extremely close friends and family. It's my travel page. I only follow pages relating to my plant-based eating habits, wellness, mental health, businesses that I support. Once again, those mental health pages. The algorithm only shows me things I enjoy, like plant-based recipes, wellness memes, and products that I will be willing to buy. Unfortunately, we can't stop the advertising. I suggest you do this and watch how fast your energy will shift by making the algorithm work in your favor for your mental health. The good thing is you don't lose your old page. You're just not consuming those same old things anymore. Listen to podcasts like this one that help you learn and grow. You can reshape your social media to consume all things that will uplift and inspire your growth. The food. It's cliche. You are what you eat. You are what you consume. You eat junk? Well, you eat a lot of high fatty foods, you gain fat. You eat a lot of sugar, your body gets overwhelmed and gives you sugar diabetes because it's no longer able to process all that sugar. I'm not going to go through all the benefits of reshaping what you consume by your eating habits. Listen to my Session 5 podcast, Creating Healthy Workout and Eating Habits. This will help you reshape your eating habits. Healthy foods, healthy life, lean foods, lean body. The people. The people in your life, and even in our work relationships, if you are only listening to the same group of people with the same complaints, your reality is only shaped by those complaints, and you're not willing to see other sides. If you're only consuming the views of just your inner circles, you won't be able to expand your mind to understand or even have empathy for the others. The quote, if you keep flocking with the chickens, you'll never be able to soar with the eagles, or something like that. Be open to explore other friend groups, other work relationships, other environments that you are least likely to attend. Be open to immerse yourself into a culture other than your own. Learning about other cultures, other people, and listening and sharing stories with others outside of your circle will reshape your views, address your biases, and increase your knowledge. If you have a new hobby or new entrepreneurial side hustle you're thinking about, find a group of like-minded individuals and go hang out with them. Listen and learn from them. Be in-person social. Reshape your friend and work relationships and groups. It's okay to have different friend groups. We got to be done with no new friends. Make this the year to meet new people. Understand the definition of these two words in the context of what we are consuming. The definition of the word religiously and the definition of the word conditioned. The definition of the word religiously. Something one believes in and follows devotedly. A point or matter of ethics or conscience. When you religiously consume certain things, it shapes who you are. This is why cult leaders take you out of your current environment and force you into an environment where folks are only able to learn and consume what's being taught by the leader. No outside sources allowed. This allows power, control, and mastering the minds of followers. The definition of the word condition. Characterized by a predictable or consistent pattern of behavior or thought as a result of having been subjected to certain circumstances or conditions. Those two words are very important when you're understanding your mindset and why you behave the way you behave based on what you consume. Hey, you! The champion for life changes. I'm challenging you to be open to change what you're consuming, which will allow you to practice new thoughts, new actions, and create new life experiences. This will allow you to crave more great life experiences and be open to explore new things in your current life. Everything you consume becomes your thoughts. And if it's negative thoughts, it will evoke negative actions. If it's positive thoughts, it will evoke positive actions. Acknowledge that you may currently be in a conditioned state of mind based on your past life experiences. I know someone is thinking, I've already started consuming positive things and I read positive things, but somehow my thoughts won't change. My mind won't shift. I still have negative thoughts. I still have some forms of anxiety. Don't be discouraged. This just means that you have internalized and been conditioned by your negative thoughts. To heal from it, you have to do some emotional work that involves you to forgive every person in your life that spoke those negative words to you. Forgive your parents, siblings, relatives, friends, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband or wife, and yourself for actually falsely believing the negative self-talk. Those false beliefs and thoughts are overpowering what you're consuming. So your mind is actually being controlled based on your false beliefs about yourself. Your brain is rejecting the external new truths. This is common and has happened to the best of us. In fact, when I was working my way out of a depressive state of mind, I had the same issue. I struggled with severe depression from about my 7th grade through high school, also my first year of college. I had extreme postpartum depression. My depression was so severe that when I think back to my mindset at those times when I was depressed, it's almost like I was in a 12-year nightmare that I had to awaken from. I'm so grateful that I woke up out of the nightmare of depression. By grace, I made it out alive. And I'm so serious when I say that. But anyways, I was listening to gospel and inspirational music. I stopped watching negative news. I was still struggling with negative self-thoughts. I was removing negative people from my life. I was seeing a therapist. I was doing everything I needed to do, but I still felt like I was wearing a mask to hide the pain. I still didn't feel well. This is when I started practicing the art and practice of redirecting my negative thoughts and limiting beliefs until it became a habit. The practice is a form of psycho-cybernetics. This was a constant, repetitive, conscious habit of redirecting all of my negative thoughts. Each time my thought would go to, you aren't worthy, you aren't smart enough, you don't have the skills, you're ugly, you will always be depressed, happiness is not for you, you are a procrastinator, you will never be able to afford those things. I would instantly do a thought rebuttal with positive words of affirmation. I am worthy. I am enough. I am beautiful. You will soon come out of this depressive state. You will create your own happiness. You will accomplish goals. You will soon be able to live in abundance. If you overconsume your thoughts with the thought, I'm having anxiety, this gives me anxiety, start changing and redirecting your thoughts. Take action by saying, this used to give me anxiety, but I'm in control of my anxiety. I can control and manage my triggers. If you consume your thoughts with, I'm a procrastinator. If you believe what you overconsume, your brain will acknowledge it as a truth. Redirect your procrastinator thought to, I'm no longer a procrastinator. I take action when needed, and I'm going to finish the task in a timely manner. And then progress. Think about the things you are consuming regularly. What's keeping you in a stuck mindset? What is keeping you from redirecting your thought? What's keeping you in a world of drama and stress? What's keeping you in a depressed state? Whatever it is, tackle and confront it with intention and purpose. Tackle it. You have to confront it, not run from it. Face your problems. Don't Facebook your problems. Okay? Because of this, it is so important to be aware of what you speak to young children and teens, because what they consume, it also shapes their internalized thoughts. As a mother, mentor, and educator, I refuse to tell children they aren't good at something, or I don't tell them that they can't accomplish a goal. We must never use negative and limiting language towards youth, because they quickly internalize it as a truth about who they are. This forces them to limit themselves when they reach adulthood, which is probably what happened to you. Hurtful words do hurt, just like the sticks and stones that break bones. Hurtful words are unkind and break young minds. That rhymes. Religiously create positive thoughts in your mind that create your reality. You have the choice to elevate your mind by opening up to consume everything that promotes your growth. You also have the choice to stay where you are. Someone listening has refused to do something because they may be worried about what someone else may think about you. Don't limit yourself because of someone else's judgment or view. If it's not hurting anyone, do what makes you happy so you don't have regrets later in life. No coulda, shoulda, woulda. Be intentional right now. All right, when I first moved to Houston, students hadn't left their Fifth Ward environment. They didn't see the benefits of Houston. They would ask, Miss, why did you choose Houston? There isn't anything here. They had only experienced their neighborhood, so they were not aware of the greatness, the restaurants, the experiences outside of their hood. It made me think of Plato's allegory of the cave. If you're chained in a cave and all you see is shadows, you fear leaving the cave to experience the world on the other side of the cave. Someone breaks free and sees the beauty outside of the cave. They come back to the cave and try to free the others from the shackles, and they think he's crazy. There are lots of movies created with that same format, like The Matrix. If you watched it years ago, rewatch The Matrix again with your new mindset. It's amazing. If you have become accustomed to the shadows in the cave that you are in, and you are afraid to break free from the shackles and experience life outside of the cave, you will never see how far you can thrive. Be the person that is resilient and navigate life without fear. Come out of the cave. Shift out of the mindset. Watch what you consume. Experience life experiences. Here's a quick story of a life experience. Someone that stepped outside of their comfort zone to explore. A quick story about Chuck Collins, the great grandson of the founder of Oscar Mayer Meat Processing. He grew up in a privileged and wealthy family. He was conditioned to believe that the less fortunate people in America were lazy people that were wanting to tax the rich so that they didn't have to work. He was conditioned to believe that taxing the rich was wrong and was dangerous. They must choose the political party that would protect their wealth. This shaped his belief that people in poverty based on his privileged environment. It wasn't until he had the opportunity to volunteer outside of his privileged environment when he realized that a lot of less fortunate people were not lazy and actually worked extremely hard but made less money and were also being taxed. He also realized that before he had ever worked a real job, he made approximately $20,000 a week or more from his inheritance. While volunteering, he notices on an application that a person worked over 40 hours a week and only made about $20,000 in 1 year versus him getting about $20,000 in a week. Just a small time frame outside of his privileged environment shifted his mindset and his reality. Don't be afraid to step outside your comfort zone for awareness and growth. He later worked to help out with social justice issues and concerns and inequality initiatives. He even donated some of his inheritance to some foundation or something. If you've been raised in a toxic environment and you always see the same situation and you're forced to be conditioned to think the same things, you consume it and it becomes who you are. You have the power to shift it. Champions, challenge yourself to consume and experience something different in different environments. If you have a bad experience, ask yourself what you learned from it. But if you have a good experience, ask yourself how you can make it more exciting. We have a world of knowledge at our fingertips now on our smartphones. If you want to learn something new, manipulate the algorithm for your knowledge and success mechanism. Let that be everything that you consume. Never believe that you're too old to learn something. If you overconsume anything at any age, you can master it. If you want to learn a new language, temporarily change your environment and relocate to the country that speaks the language you want to learn. Immerse yourself into the culture. This is way easier for us to do now because if you work virtually, you can be a digital nomad and work anywhere in the world. If you're an educator, you can teach abroad or you can study abroad if you're a student. There are no limits to your greatness. You have the power to change your environment and consume new environments. When we reflect, athletes and celebrities that are the greatest at their profession, listen to their stories. You quickly realize they chose to place themselves in environments for overconsumption of their talent. Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant as athletes, Denzel Washington, Samuel Jackson as actors, Michael Jackson and Prince as musicians, Viola Davis and Betty Davis as actresses, Venus and Serena Williams as athletes, Aretha Franklin and Beyonce as musicians. Then there's the Bill Gates and the Oprah Winfreys. Their stories of greatness all sound the same. They religiously consumed all things related to their passion and talent. Whatever it is that you want to master, set yourself up to consume it religiously. Whether it's mental health goals, a new hobby, a new sport, music, reach your level of greatness by consuming all things related to your future success. There are no age limits to this. Consume it and take action. Recondition your old conditioned way of thought. Reading is fundamental for brain development and mind growth. So each week I promote an author. This week I'm promoting Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant's book titled Mamba Mentality. After every game, Kobe Bryant would go back and watch every game he played. He would overconsume the game footage. He would watch his plays. He would watch the other team's plays. He would watch the referees. He was consumed with all things basketball and became one of the greatest basketball players. We have to reflect and admire his greatness. In the words of Kobe Bryant, he states, "Hard work outweighs talent every time." He added, "Mamba mentality is about 4 a.m. workouts, doing more than the next guy, and then trusting in the work you've put in when it's time to perform. Without studying, preparation, and practice, you're leaving the outcome to fate. I don't do fate." Those are the words of Kobe Bryant. He also had the 5 pillars of his legendary mindset. Here's the 5 pillars. 1, passion. 2, obsession. 3, relentlessness. 4, resiliency. And 5, fearlessness. Here's another Kobe Bryant quote. "It's not about the number of hours you practice. It's about the number of hours your mind is present during the practice." This quote is directly related to how powerful our mind is as it relates to achieving our best self. The book Mamba Mentality is not just a book about becoming a great athlete. It's a book that encourages a mindset shift and ways to achieve greatness in all aspects of your life. Grab the book, read it. The link to the book will be in my podcast notes. You are now a champion for healing and change. Here are 4 quick recaps of clarification and understanding. Listen and listen well, champions. Recap 1. What you consume to uplift your life is as simple as making a conscious choice to change what you choose to consume and what you allow in your thoughts and subconscious mind. Choose wisely. I took a memory class in college, and one of the study tips is to study your material and then take a nap and sleep so it's on your mind, and your brain will naturally retain more of what you studied. The same concept. If you allow your child to watch a horror movie before going to sleep, the child will have a nightmare. So be open to reshape what you consume from media, movies, and convert your social media algorithms to cater to your positive hobbies, goals, and strengthening your mental health. Also, continue to listen to mind elevating podcasts. My favorites are, I get my stock market information from T-Boy, TBOY, podcast in the mornings on my way to work. On the way home from work, I stay up to date with the real estate market by listening to Black Real Estate Dialogue podcast. When I go on runs, I listen to Spartan Up podcast. And every Monday, I listen to the Hidden Brain podcast. My all-time favorite podcast is the School of Greatness podcast. Always feed your brain with greatness and knowledge. It keeps away those negative thoughts. Recap 2. Music has been used to consciously and unconsciously condition the minds of humans and our emotions for decades. Now we have the power to use music to our advantage. We can have salsa dance sessions as a morning spirit lift, or a chill jazz session in a warm shower, or a twerk session after your wake up workout. Whatever makes you feel good. If you're like me and you can't dance, but you love to dance, dance in the mirror. It makes you look better. Just like singing in the shower makes you sing better. I know this from experience. It really works. Allow some positive music to start your day. You can also use music and meditations to end your day also. My favorite hype song that really gets me dancing, singing, and rapping in the morning is the song We Got Love, Love, Love by Tiana Taylor featuring Lauryn Hill. My day is always fabulous when I start with that song. When people learn the power of how your subconscious mind works, guided manifestation meditation videos have become extremely popular on YouTube, reshaping the minds of those who struggle with late night anxiety, sleep deprivation, and stress. All meditation, it takes practice. Download the Encounter Meditation app to listen before bed or search YouTube for a nice calm manifestation meditation video. When you fall asleep to a guided meditation, it is still being consumed in your subconscious mind. This works way better than falling asleep to a horror film, I promise. Understand the reason they call social media influencers because they are paid to influence your behavior. Be influenced by those that empower you to grow and learn, not those that empower you to spend money on products that you don't need, not those that are only discussing celebrity gossip and drama. Reshape your social media by creating a new page and following new uplifting and empowering pages. Trick the algorithm for your advantage for growth. For example, if you want to create wealth from real estate, only follow real estate investors on your social media. If you want to start a garden, only follow master gardeners on your social media. If you want to learn to cook healthy meals, follow healthy meal prep pages. If you want to be a producer, writer, or filmmaker, follow those pages. Soon, you won't even be interested in your old social media page because you'll be all caught up in your growth. Recap 3. Dear old King Solomon said, when you walk with the wise, you become wise because a companion of fools suffers harm, or something like that. So remember to be mindful of the circle of people you surround yourself with. Be open to find like-minded people. Join groups based upon your interests. If you're an introvert, find other introverts with the same interests, business goals, or hobbies. You don't have to let go of your old friends to create new friends. You just find healthy balance in your relationships. Don't be confined to just one group of people at work. Expand your work relationships also. Create healthy relationships with many different coworkers. You'll learn so much. Recap 4. Consuming the sun and its brightness. Sunlight naturally makes you feel brighter and better. The sunshine gives your body vitamin D, which is needed for naturally healing specific mental health issues. Being in the darkness and dark spaces for long periods of time without light naturally makes you feel depressed and shuts down your ability to thrive. This is why being locked in solitary confinement or the hole is a form of punishment. It breaks down your ability to thrive. It shuts down your psychological fortitude. Consume foods that nourish your mind and body. Stay hydrated. Drink lots of water. Be open to fasting, praying, manifesting, and meditating. So many holistic ways to heal your mind, body, and spirit. Practice makes progress in all areas. A wise person once said, try something at least 3 times before you give up on it. So if you feel like you're not that person that can meditate or you're not that person that can fast, try it at least 3 times. Don't give up. Set boundaries with yourself to protect your energy. If you listen to and consume my podcast every week, your mind will elevate and you will be healthier and wealthier. Not only should you be aware of what you consume, but if you have children, please be aware of what your children are consuming. Most importantly, your brain is a muscle. You can strengthen it just as you can strengthen all other muscles in your body. You're never too old to consume and learn something new. Live without regrets. Consume all things great. You're a champion with a Mamba mentality. When you master it, share it with the world. Inspire others. Rest in peace and love, Kobe Bryant. Elevate your mind. Be open to health and wealth. Trust the healing process. Sometimes healing hurts, but when completely healed, you become a stronger, wiser, and amazing human. That was heavy. Let's relax and breathe. Breathe in love. Breathe out love. Breathe in peace. Breathe out peace. Breathe in love. Share love. Now, share this podcast to help someone you love reshape their consumption and uplift their life. We are champions. We win together. Let's continue to connect. I've done all the talking, but don't forget, I'm also a great listener. So after listening to this session, you can release, respond, reflect, or open up and acknowledge your struggles. Let's start the healing process together. Record your voice or record a video and DM it to my Instagram at ShyTheHealer. That's Shy, ShyThe Healer, Healer. All one word. I will try to respond to all voice recordings and videos only. But if you want to write something, write a review or comment and share this podcast. Champions, you can support by clicking the link to donate and support in my podcast notes. Until then, see you next Self-Care Sunday.